Hello, welcome to the Tyrrell County Public Library Shields and Swords program. I am Mr. Jared.
And I am Miss Tammy.
And today we are going to show you guys how to make some swords and shields at home. And I'm going to tell you some stories about shields and mythology around shields. It'll be really, really cool. So, let us begin.
Alright.
So, did you know that shields and swords are really, really important in world history? So many cultures have based their entire societies upon having shields and swords and spears in them. Well, one of the most important ancient civilizations in the world, the Greeks, really, really loved shields. In fact, they used shields to create an entire way of war that lasted so long and worked so efficiently that they were using those tactics well into the medieval era. So, let's start off with some stories about some shields. So, the first shields were used to create a gigantic phalanx for the Greek army. Now, what a phalanx is you just take a couple of shields, like these right here, and you get a whole line of your friends and buddies and your neighbors, and you put them side by side like this. And nobody will be able to break through it. And you can hold them and push people aside, and then take your sword and kind of poke over the top of it like this at people and fight. And so that's what they did when they created a giant shield wall of people called a phalanx. Now, one of the famous mythical creatures kind of emerged from the creation of a phalanx, the Centaur. Because way back in the way back in the Dark Ages of ancient Greece, from about 1100 BCE to about 700 BCE, the poor people that lived in the villages would constantly get raided by all these rich people who had horses. So they'd come down from the top of the hill and they'd start taking stuffs out of their homes and leaving and saying, ha ha ha, you can't get me, I'm on a horse and you can't get me. So all these poor people got together and said, you know what, let's get some really long pointy sticks and a couple of shields and let's get all in a big formation and we'll scare them away. So they all got together, lined up, and when all these people came down from the top of the hill to try and take all their stuff, they formed up the shield wall and had the pointy sticks and pushed them all away with their big pointy sticks. And so
Did it work?
It did.
Great.
In fact, it worked so well that every single city-state in Greece created its own army, ready to go. Well, it wasn't really a standing army like today. It was kind of like a militia a little bit. Everybody had shields and weapons based upon what sort of stuff they had around their house. If you had some good money in you, you might have a full suit of armor, like some of these guys here. Or, if you were kind of poor and you could just afford a shield, well, you might just have a shield and maybe a helmet. And maybe a really pointy stick. But you would all come together and you'd all defend the city-state together. So it was really, really cool, kind of the stuff that they did.
That's some good teamwork.
Oh yeah, teamwork makes a difference. Remember that, guys. So, not only did this inspire the myth of centaurs, because, you know, all those rich people coming down from the hill, well, they thought them as kind of almost horse creature people that came down and were trying to take over their villages. So, call them centaurs. But it also inspired the Olympics, because people got really, really good at this. The people who stood at the front of those phalanxes, well, they were the strongest and the most fit people. And so, a lot of those same people said, hey, you know, we're at peace right now, we're not really doing anything too much, why don't we have a contest? And all of the Greek city-states got together and started doing the Olympics that we know today. Well, at least the ancient ones. Oh yeah. And it was so big and so important that those champions who won those Olympics, not only did they get honored by the entire city for a day, the city went even as so far in some cases to tear down a section of the wall if the champion wanted to go through that section of the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. And they even had a race, a 100-yard race in this Olympics, where you had to dress up in your entire suit of armor. And whoever could get across that line with their entire suit of armor on won the race.
That stuff weighed a lot, though.
Oh
didn't it?
yeah, it was really, really heavy. Hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Sometimes up to 200 pounds for a single individual.
Wow.
So yeah, these were really, really strong guys who did this. So anyways, that was some of the things that were very important to the Greeks in terms of how they loved their sports and they loved using shields and swords. Some of the sayings that kind of emerged from this period that was really, really important was that they emphasized the strength of community and being together. So they said really clever sayings to one another. One of those sayings was, "Come back with your shield or upon it," saying that if you left the ranks, that, well, you better go fight, or else you're not going to be welcome back here. And you better not lose your shield.
I'm keeping mine.
Yeah, you better. And also, the Greeks really like to do their own sort of expression on their shields. They like to paint all sorts of stuff. Common ones were putting, like, a bull on it, or sometimes they might even put a lion to make their shields look really fierce and really scare the enemy.
I like the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So that's what I chose for mine.
And one guy, way back in ancient Greece, decided to take his shield and he drew a little dot on it that was a fly. And so one of the other soldiers came up to him and said, "Hey, why'd you write a little fly on your shield?" And he said, "Well, when I have my shield and I go to the front of the line, it's going to look like a lion when I put it in the enemy's face."
Oh.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, it was really, really something. Very, very important to the Greeks. But another culture that really emphasized the importance of shields were the Romans as well.
Yes.
The Romans had a funny myth where they kind of mixed their religion around it. So, one day, way back in ancient Rome, right around about 700 BCE or so, during the kings of ancient Rome, King Numa, the religious king of the Romans, all of a sudden saw a shield fall right out of the sky.
No way.
Oh, yes way. And he
How'd
looked.
that happen?
Well, he looked at it and he talked to the augurs in Rome, and the augurs said to him, "This is Mars's shield, the god of war. This is his shield, and we need to keep it, because if this goes away, then the city of Rome will fall." And it was called Ensile's shield. So, Numa had a clever idea to prevent anybody from stealing it. He decided to create 11 other identical shields that looked just like it.
Oh, he's trying to fake people out.
Oh, yes, he is.
Ah.
So, he took these shields, put them all together, and decided that on the anniversary of every day, that they would go around the city of Rome with these shields and have kind of a little bit of a parade.
Oh, I like parades.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a very fun parade, a very interesting parade.
Oh, good. Did they throw candy?
Well, not so much, but they did sing and dance.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. So what they would do on these festival days, they would, and this lasted so long, it lasted almost 1,000 years, this festival, because it was so important to the Romans.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time.
Oh, yeah. That's a long, long time. So, they took these shields, they lined up in formation, and they'd march throughout the city. And when they got to an intersection, they stopped. And then they dropped their shields, and they started to do a sing and dance ancient words that they didn't really even understand what they were. And then they pick up their shields, and the next intersection they got to, they would do the same thing again.
Did they make up words, or were these actual words, but
These
they
were-
just didn't understand it?
They just didn't understand it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So yes, that was a really, really important feature of ancient Rome with its shields. It was so important, it was almost a part of their religion. So, one of the things that they did with these shields, because they loved shields so much, is they even made really cool formations when they were in battle.
Ah, other than the one we talked about earlier?
Oh yeah, even better.
Oh.
They did this formation called a testudo, where they basically lined up their shields, not just like this.
Oh. But is this the one where they go over the top too?
Oh yes, they went over the top.
Ah.
And some legionaries were so good at it that they were able to stack 2 legions on top of each other.
Oh,
and
wow.
climb over walls. They were really, really good at it.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. And so that's a little bit of the history and a little bit of the legends and the lore behind shields in the ancient world and some of the myths that kind of inspired generations afterward. So yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. Now, let's show you how to make a couple of shields.
Hey, you want to make your own shield? Oh, wow. You can do all kinds of things to make a shield. This one is, of course, a round one. And this one is made kind of like a Viking shield. And as I said before, I really like dragons, and so I put dragons on this particular style. And is this one called? Heraldry, or do we know what, is this?
I think we can call it a chivalric.
Special?
A chivalric shield.
Okay, we can go with that. And then we have, and I've been pulling up this one, and it's just a rectangle. And this is more like the Roman shield. And we have one that is partially made right now that we're going to finish up. Let's get this out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to show you how to finish this one up.
Mm-hmm.
We've started it by just taking construction paper, and construction paper is great for crafting because you can choose your colors and cut it out and do whatever, put it wherever.
Line it
do
up
different
any way you want.
shapes.
Yeah.
And so we've got some zigzaggy arrows, like
You got
lightning
some
bolts.
pointy arrows.
Yes. And so here we've already got the red and the yellow border on it. So
Mhm.
then, what do we need? Glue, of course. So we're going to need our glue, and we're going to put some on this arrow piece, and then position it on our sword. So, excuse me, this is not a sword. This is a shield.
Put it right
And we
there.
have another one like that that's going to go in the other direction. So we'll put that one down.
Mhm.
And while he's doing that, I'll get these lightning bolt ones. Get some glue on those.
It's starting to come together.
Let's throw a lightning bolt on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many different things that you can use to decorate your shield.
You don't have to use construction paper. You can use paint, like was used in this one.
Yes. Or there's other things that you can use, like on the sword. I even use duct tape. Duct tape can be used to decorate all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that make elaborate things out of duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty awesome when they do that.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. And we've got one more, and we will have all of our arrows on this Roman shield.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be able to show it to you. But then we need to add this to the center. And I'm afraid that we might need something a little stronger than the glue stick. So we have more glue that we can put on the back of this one. Did I put it on
Yeah,
the
we got it
wrong?
going on the wrong way.
That means
Yep,
we
gotta
need
put-
some glue on the other side of that
yeah.
one. Sometimes we mess it up a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's okay, because before you stick it down there, you can just put glue on the other side and fix your mistake. And position that in the center. Is that right?
Yep, right in the center.
Okay. And now we have
A
a Roman shield. Check that out, y'all.
Yeah.
Now, if you have things at home that you might want to use, as Mr. Jared mentioned earlier, we have paints, and the duct tape. And I have a few things on a tray here that you might also like. You can always, stickers are awesome. You can use sparkly stickers if you want. Little stickers you can find in the office section at a
Little
store.
stars as well. And a little glitter.
Glitter, it makes everything fun. And we have beads that I used on the sword, on the string on the sword, so you could possibly glue those on your shield too. And you might want to check if your mom likes to sew. She may have rickrack or some other things you might want to put on. And you know what? You could even cover it with fabric.
Oh yeah.
That would be an option. And if you want to put, if you like dragons and other things, but you can't really draw all that great, you could always go and find pictures that you could cut out, print off, cut out, color, and then
stick right on
glue
there.
them onto your shield. So have fun with yours. Now our sword, let me tell you about this. This part, to make it nice and shiny and look like it's real, here's the secret. Aluminum foil. And you'll just wrap that around there and glue it down or tape it on, and then make your point at the top, and then you can just decorate the hilt any way you want. So have fun getting creative making your sword and shield.
Yeah. Well, be sure to come by the library or give us a call or send me an email, and we will get you signed up for this so you can pick up your materials.
And one way to do your shield is you could just put things directly on the cardboard. You could paint it or put the construction paper directly on it like we did with this one. But another thing, if you want to draw and really get or paint and get creative and stuff, it might be easier to do it on the poster board first and then glue that right on top of your cardboard. And so come by the library and choose a shape, either the rectangle or this one or the round one, and be sure you get your sword too.
Oh yeah. So come by on July 29th or a little bit before, doesn't matter when, come on by and pick up your sword and shield materials. And if you want to, like that Greek guy we talked about with his own special shield, you can post on our Facebook page and let us know what you made, because we'd be really interested to see. So thank you guys so much. And this is Jared and
Miss Tammy.
And we are signing off, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.